Back here on ESPN Radio 94.1, we're joined by a special guest, defensive lineman in the ACC for the reigning ACC champs. Won himself a natty. That's a national title his first year, and he's right here out of the 757 Cox High School in Virginia Beach, now with the Clemson Tigers, getting ready for a football season. He hopes in some big success as he made an impact last year on the football field for the Tigers. Yeah, got its head some tackles for loss, part of that great defensive line the last few years for them. We say hello to Jordan Williams here on ESPN Radio 94.1. Jordan, how's life? How you been during this pandemic?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good, man. Just trying to maintain during this whole quarantine and pandemic.
I hear you. Family doing well?
Yes, sir. The family's doing good. Still down there in Virginia Beach, just missing me.
I'm sure they are. But I tell you what, it's been wild these past several months, and since we last talked with you, we've seen the Big Ten and the Pac-12 announce no football. What was your reaction when that happened, and were you worried about what the ACC might do, and are you still concerned any?
I definitely seen it coming for the Big Ten and the Pac-12. It was definitely something that you could see building up and foreshadowing. And obviously it makes any conference that wants to play ball scared. It's just there's so much going on right now, and there's a lot of uncertainty across the country. And I feel like once we finally get an understanding of what everybody's doing, when the season's going to take place and all of that, I think a lot of it's going to die down, and guys are going to start feeling a lot better about it.
Sure. Now, when you saw how the ACC was approaching with a conference-only slate +1, what were your thoughts? What went through your mind?
I was definitely excited, as well as a lot of the guys on the team. We were just looking forward to playing some ball, really. We didn't care who we played, where we played, what time we played. We were just ready to spot the ball and get on the field.
Yeah, might see. We were going to see. It's on the schedule. At least a 757 guy like yourself there with Notre Dame joining the conference, and Jeremiah Owusu out of Bethel. Do you keep up with the guys from here that you either played against or from here when you're in college? Do you keep up with them much, and do you talk with them much?
Yeah, I definitely do. I keep up with a lot of my friends, especially that are in the other conferences. And then, of course, whenever we watch film, we'll see some guys up there. And we actually seen Jeremiah last year before we played an opponent. And he's a great player, great all-around player. He's very smart football-wise, I can tell. And he's a freak athlete as well. So it's going to be exciting to go down to South Bend and play those guys.
Yeah, he was a basketball standout, too, for Bethel. And, of course, people don't know this. Jordan played some hoops in his day at Cox High School, too. Do you miss the round ball at all or not really?
I miss it. I miss it a lot. I definitely let it go, though. Definitely can't go out there and play like that anymore. I was back in the low 200s when I played then, so I definitely can't go back out there and play now.
That's because he's chasing quarterbacks. We're talking with Jordan Williams out of Virginia Beach's Cox High School, now with the Clemson Tigers, our guest here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. What are you checking in at now, height and weight? Give us the dings there. What are you checking in at?
Height and weight, I'm at 6'5", 305 right now.
Goodness gracious. I remember when you were I think you were about a scrawny 6'3", what was it, 190, 180 when you got done?
Yeah, 190, 185. Yeah, I remember that. That was my first year, freshman year.
Goodness. Take me through the life of a student athlete and just how different it's been from the practice methods, the social distancing, the field time, all that goes into the prep for this season.
Yeah, so as a student athlete, obviously with our classes and stuff being online, you just we wake up, go lift, we have gloves, masks, and everything. We're very precautious when it comes to the COVID and following the rules and stuff like that. So we just always have our mask up, our gloves on. We're distancing ourselves. We have coaches in there constantly reminding us to spread out and stay apart, stay 6 feet apart, and stuff like that. And then on the practice field, we have to wear our these little neck masks, really, like these gainers they call them. And if you don't have your helmet on, you got to slide those up. We're distancing ourselves at practice. We're spreading out during drills, during teamwork, during scouts, during team separate stuff. So it's really, I feel like now going through a fall camp, I definitely feel used to it by now. But at first, it was definitely different to adjust because we're always so together. Like, you just don't realize how together you are until you're being told to, spread out and keep your distance from people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No question. I think we're all dealing with it in walks of life, whether you're an athlete and someone that's not athletic at all, sports, business, you name it. Playing in front of no fans or a very limited number of fans, is that going to feel awkward for you?
I think so, for sure. They talked about having the fake fan noise and stuff like that, but the fans definitely bring a different element to the game. They have the potential to change the momentum of a game as well. It's going to be different, especially not having fans at all, especially your loved ones, people like that. But we still really don't have any word on if there's going to be absolutely no fans or a limited number, or you know what I mean. So we're still waiting on all those things like that.
It's been a really trying time for our country this year. Tell me about, I know earlier this summer you were part of that March for Equality and the difference you all as student athletes are trying to make beyond the sport. Tell us about that if you can.
Yeah, so it was a great experience, honestly. We felt that we went about it the complete right way. As far as just, we all kind of just wanted to schedule a protest, which wouldn't have been as organized. It probably could have led to a lot of bad things, but we went through the Clemson Police Department, got some of our support staff, and then guys like Cornell Powell, Trevor Lawrence, Mike Jones, Darian Rencher. Those guys all put together something. They had ideas and stuff that they wanted to do, and they got through our support staff, through the Clemson Police Department, and were able to implement those things, especially through the president. He was a big help for us as well. And it was just something peaceful that brought a lot of people together, a lot of fans, a lot of people of different color, race, nationality, and we were able to come together on a common thing that what was right and what wasn't. And we were able to march and really just really get together and just talk really about everything and just discuss things with people that we typically wouldn't talk to. You know what I mean? So it just brought a lot of the community together.
Indeed, and I think very healthy in a lot of ways. What have the conversations been like during this time amongst all you guys as players, whether it's social injustice topics or not? I mean, how much what's been going on in the country and in trying to prepare for the season, I mean, it's a lot to balance for a college athlete, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. During that time when all the social injustice was really happening before our march, we actually had all of the leaders over at Coach Sweeney's house and just talked about just really everything that, like, people of color, like some things that I have to go through as a young black man in this world that Trevor might not have to ever go through. You know what I mean? So it was just really good to get around the guys. Everybody was obviously hurt and upset, but there was also like people that just don't know. So it was just there to create conversation, ask questions, and just really just find out and see from our perspective how it is. Like growing up, some things we have to worry about, some things that they may not have ever heard of or may not have ever been told by their parents. You know what I mean? So it was just good to get around and create less awkwardness, you know what I mean, before we went out there for camp and practice and workouts and stuff. So it just really helped us all come together and find an understanding of what was really going on.
You mentioned the name Trevor Lawrence, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He and Darian Rencher, I mean, they've been very influential, powerful voices here, front and center. Right. Explain their leadership, if you can, for us.
They're fantastic leaders. They push guys on and off the field. I know personally Darian and Trevor both push me spiritually and walking in my faith with Jesus Christ, but they're very great teammates. I feel like you have to have a Trevor Lawrence and a Darian Rencher on every team. Those guys are people that'll push you, that'll motivate you, that are just people that you can just call and talk to at any time. And it definitely helps having them as a teammate because they talk to everybody, listen to everybody, they're friends with everybody, and they're just great teammates and great leaders, and guys look up to them.
We're talking with the 7'5" native out of Cox High School in Virginia Beach. Yeah, he won a Beach District title there for Coach Stack and their crew, and also won a national championship with the Clemson Tigers, where he now plays. Jordan Williams, our guest here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. 44 career tackles, 8.5 for loss, 4 sacks, couple pass breakups, a forced fumble, and 444 snaps over 27 games. And I got a hunch those snaps are going to rise real soon for Jordan. Tell me, Jordan, Coach Sweeney, Dabo Sweeney, his impact with you guys, and for those that don't know him like you all do, tell the audience the type of man and the type of football coach he is.
The type of man he is, I feel like he's the type of coach and man that any parent would feel comfortable sending their son off hours away to college for. Coach Sweeney's been an incredible role model in my life, incredible leader. I look up to some of the things he does with his faith in Jesus Christ, with his family, and just his personality. How you see Coach Sweeney in the locker room and dancing on the Twitter videos and Instagram videos, that's how he is in person. He's just a goofy, fun guy, someone that's easy to talk to, someone that's always willing to listen to his players and things that they want and things that they just feel comfortable with. And I'm just glad that he's my coach. I'm glad to be a part of his legacy that he's built here at Clemson.
And doing a great job getting some 7'5" guys. It was Taj Boyd from Phoebus High School quarterback. Now they got Jordan as well as Sheridan Jones from Maury High School, Norfolk, and more could be coming. We'll touch on that here with Jordan. Tell me about last season, how it went for you as a whole, kind of the difference from first year to second season, and then specifically, what's kind of your outlook for this year as you grow into an even greater role?
Yeah, so my first season, I was behind those top draft picks in Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins, and I kind of was able to see their style of leadership and see how they led and how they worked. Honestly, they're very hardworking guys across the board between Austin, Christian, Dex, and Cleveland. But it was just awesome being able to be there with them and see how they do things and take notes and listen in meetings and practice and take care of their bodies and nutrition and all of that. It was something that I had definitely had to adjust to because in high school you don't really have that type of structure playing high school ball, really. You know what I mean? So with this, and then this season I had to take on a new role with all those guys leaving. I had to turn into a leader very fast, but I feel like being around those guys definitely helped make it easier for me to, because I knew what it looked like. I'd seen it for a year now, and like 2 years actually. So it was actually really good and easy to step into that role and have guys get on board and motivate and push people.
What's the biggest thing you've learned at Clemson, Jordan, whether it be football-wise, unrelated to football, or both?
I think the one thing that I'll be able to take from Clemson, I'll definitely learn how to take care of my body, whether that's nutrition, whether it's getting treatment. But before, you kind of just wake up after a game on Friday nights at Cox, and you just kind of wake up and go about your day like nothing happened the night before. And with here, obviously, guys are getting older, guys are bigger, guys are stronger. Your body is you're going to feel it the next day. So I feel like taking care of my body is something that I've prided myself on since I've been here, whether it's in nutrition and in the training room. We have a castle, the castle here at Clemson with different float tanks, cryotherapy chambers, stuff like that. But that's probably the one thing that I've focused on after those guys left and after I first got here, because it's provided to you. You're hurting yourself if you don't really take advantage of those kind of things. So I feel like that's probably the biggest thing I took away from Clemson.
Come over and join them. We'll do some rapid fire and let you run. We appreciate the time today. I mean, you not only are the college athletes going through it, I think everybody's going through it. That's an athlete here about the uncertainty here. Even the high school kids down here, and I know you had some great teammates there at Cox, and some guys have gone on to do big things like Tavion Robinson, who's now an ACC rival, if you will, at Virginia Tech, and others. Kind of how would you, if you were to go back to those days at Cox and you were a junior or senior right now, with the season at least being planned to be pushed to the early portion of next year, that they even have one, and kind of take me through your emotions would be, what you think they would be.
It would be kind of tough, you know what I mean? Just the possibility, especially for those seniors that don't know if they're going to have another shot at playing or another shot at being able to run out there with their brothers and from high school and stuff like that. I feel like as a mindset, it would be easy to just try and give up on everything, but you can't really have that mindset. You got to push through that. You got to constantly work and just prepare like you are going to have the season. I know a lot of the schools are closed and the weight room and gyms are closed and stuff like that, but if you really want it that bad, you got to make sure you're still putting the work in, regardless of if there's going to be a season or not, because you just never know. Like I said, there's just so much uncertainty going on that if they have a season, you want to at least be ready for it. You don't want to take this time as an opportunity to get lazy, get out of shape and stuff like that, and then they actually go through with the season, and then you're not ready. So that would be my mindset. And like I said, it's obviously tough it's tough with the uncertainty, and it's tough not knowing. But you got to have the right mindset going about it.
You got a favorite memory from your days at Cox?
Favorite memory?
Yeah.
Probably winning that Beach District Championship, for sure.
That was the first one for the school, was it not?
Yeah, it actually was. That's probably one of my favorite memories, also along with the Bayside game my junior year. That was probably my best game I had at Cox.
Yeah, you had that strip sack. I remember that. You looked like an absolute monster on that play. Hey, last one here for you then we'll get to rapid fire and let you roll. The 757 connection, I mentioned it with you and Sheridan Jones down there. How's he doing, and do you see the potential for that place to be a spot for more guys? I mean, as far as 757 players.
It's definitely a spot. I feel like Sheridan could vouch for me on this, that this is probably one of the better schools I've been to, better schools I've visited and stuff like that. And it's just the relationship and the people here that I've built. It's just something special, honestly. They could care less who you are out there on the field. They care more about you as a person. But you know what I'm saying? Guys like to stay in state. Guys don't like to go too far away. But I feel like leaving home, going 6.5, 7 hours away from Virginia Beach, definitely was beneficial for me, and it was definitely well worth it.
Yeah, it's not working out too bad when you get to play for a couple national championships in your first 2 years there. Hey, let's do some rapid fire. You ready?
Right, I'm ready.
Here we go with Clemson defensive lineman Jordan Williams out of Virginia Beach's Cox High School here on ESPN Radio. All right, what's the best TV show or movie you've seen during quarantine?
During quarantine, TV show? I'm big on Netflix. I started How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh, okay.
Definitely was a good one, yeah.
I've not checked that one out yet. If Jordan Williams gets to the NFL and could be a spokesman for one product, what would you endorse?
What would I endorse? Just
Yeah.
anything?
Anything, yeah.
I
I would tell most guys to keep it clean, by the way, but I know you'll do that, so.
Right. Nah, I would definitely endorse Nike. I'm a big Nike guy. Love wearing the brand. I'm a huge fan of Nike.
All right. Favorite road stadium to play in? We know you love playing there at Clemson, but what's the place you get juiced up the most for on the road?
On the road, South Carolina. Definitely the best place to play on the road. The fans are hostile. It's that kind of environment you want to play in. You know what I mean? It's loud, hostile fans. You're out there. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely that environment you want to be in.
Hey, listen, though, it's ACC, SEC. It's in-state bragging rights and a major rivalry for sure. Last three for you here. Trade places with one person in the world. Who would you choose?
Ooh, one person in the world. Definitely, I would probably have to say Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, okay.
Jay-Z, yeah. He's a brilliant man, honestly. He's very smart, very wealthy. He has a lot. I think he has a lot of knowledge that he could definitely spread to others.
Hardest subject in school is what?
Oh, statistics. I just passed the statistics class. Probably the hardest one I took here at Clemson. Yeah.
Not a numbers guy.
Not at all, no.
Hey, you better do it because you're going to be putting up some numbers here as you hope to get to the league there. And the last one, easier to impersonate, Coach Sweeney at Clemson or Coach Stack at Cox? I know both y'all a lot. So.
Ooh, definitely Coach Sweeney.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. But I've heard great impressions from both of them. A lot of guys are great impersonators of Coach Stack. A lot of guys are great impersonators of Coach Sweeney too. All
right. Well, I'll get those answers of who those guys are for the next time he joined us here on the 757 Saturday Sports Talk program. Thank you so much, Jordan. We wish you all the best. You stay safe and send the best to your family as well, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
You got it. That is Jordan Williams out of Clemson in the ACC, the reigning ACC champs, won a national championship his freshman year, and he's right here out of the 757 Virginia Beach's Cox High School. We'll take a timeout and come back with Doug Pereira of the York Falcons, head football coach there, right here on ESPN Radio 94.1.